Alhamdulillah. In the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious, the most merciful, peace and blessings be upon our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. My beloved brothers and sisters, have you ever looked back at a massive missed opportunity in your life and wished you had just been paying a little more attention? We often look at people who are successful and we think it was just luck. We think they just happened to be at the right place at the right time. But is it really just an accident? Think about the world of business for a moment. When a person strikes gold in a specific market or makes a deal that changes their life forever, it is rarely because they were walking blindly. It is because they were watching. They were studying the trends. They were reading the articles that everyone else was ignoring. They were asking the questions that no one else cared to ask. They had a level of alertness that the average person did not have. They saw the wave coming before it crashed, and they positioned themselves perfectly to ride it. Now, I want you to take that same concept and apply it to the most important business you will ever conduct. I am talking about the business of your soul with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are currently in a blessed window of time. We are in a season where the spiritual market is booming. But the question is, are we paying attention? From the immense mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is that He does not hide these opportunities from you. In the worldly market, you have to guess. You have to take risks. You might lose everything. But with Allah, He has made His times and His places known to you. He has told you exactly when the gates of mercy are wide open. He has told you exactly which nights hold the weight of a lifetime. He has told you which months are the harvest seasons for your good deeds. He does not leave you guessing in the dark. He lays it all out for you. The only decision left for you is to show up. The only choice you have to make is to be present. It is a tragedy that we can be so obsessed with the limited windows of worldly gain, yet so heedless of the unlimited windows of divine forgiveness. We must shift our mindset. We must stop thinking that spiritual success will just happen to us by accident. We cannot sleep through the seasons of worship and expect to wake up with a heart full of light. You have to be deliberate. You have to be strategic. You have to treat your worship with the same seriousness that an investor treats their capital. Allah reminds us in the Quran about the urgency of this pursuit. He tells us that there is a race going on and we cannot afford to be spectators. He says in Surah Al Imran, "And hasten to forgiveness from your Lord and a garden as wide as the heavens and earth, prepared for the righteous." Notice the word hasten. Do not walk, do not crawl, run towards it. Be the one who gets there first. Be the one who recognizes the value of the deal before the market closes. We are entering times that are precious. We are entering times where a single tear can wipe away a mountain of sins. But you have to be there to shed it. You have to be awake to ask for it. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, gave us the ultimate advice on seizing these moments before they slip through our fingers like sand. In a hadith found in Al-Hakim, he said, "Take advantage of 5 before 5, your youth before your old age, your health before your sickness, your wealth before your poverty, your free time before your busyness, and your life before your death." This is the formula for being at the right place at the right time. It is about recognizing the blessing while you still have it. It is about capitalizing on the season of Shaban before the intensity of Ramadan begins. Do not be the one who realizes the value of the opportunity only after it is gone. Be the one who strikes spiritual gold because you were awake when the world was asleep. My beloved brothers and sisters, Ask yourself this honest question. Would an athlete ever dream of stepping onto the field for the biggest game of their career without showing up for practice? Would they just rely on their natural talent and hope for the best? We all know the answer. If they skipped the training, their lack of coordination would show the moment the whistle blew. They might have the talent, but without the discipline, they will fail. Now, why do we treat the most important month of our spiritual lives any differently? We often look at Shaban as just another month on the calendar. We think we can just flip a switch when the moon of Ramadan is sighted. We tell ourselves that we will read the Quran all day and pray all night the moment Ramadan begins. But the reality is that if you do not show up for the practice, you will struggle in the game. Think of Shaban as your training camp. Think of Ramadan as the championship. If you do not soften your heart now, it will be hard to mold it later. If you do not train your tongue to recite the Quran now, it will feel heavy next month. There is a difference between coming early to the gates of mercy and just barely making it in time. We have to understand that there is an element of getting there early and an element of being fully present. Some of us rely on our natural spirituality. We think we are good people and that our hearts are naturally inclined to worship. But eventually, the lack of practice catches up to you. You might find yourself in the middle of Ramadan feeling disconnected or tired because you did not build the stamina when you had the chance. You do not want to spend the first 10 days of Ramadan just trying to figure out your schedule. You want to hit the ground running. So, what does excellence look like in this month? What does it mean to truly show up for practice in the sight of Allah? It is not just about doing the bare minimum. It is about a specific checklist of spiritual excellence. The scholars and the righteous predecessors understood that to be special in the sight of Allah, you have to do 4 things. First, you must do good while others are not doing it. Second, you must do what isn't expected of you in your circumstances. Third, you must do more of what everybody else is doing. And fourth, you must do it quicker and with more enthusiasm than anyone else. These are the standards we need to bring into Shaban. This is how we prepare our hearts. We do not want to be average in our relationship with Allah. We want to be exceptional. Allah loves those who strive for Him. He loves those who put in the effort to purify themselves before the meeting. He tells us in the Quran that this effort never goes to waste. He says in Surah Al-Ankabut, "And those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our ways, and indeed, Allah is with the doers of good." The striving must happen now. The guidance comes to those who are moving, not those who are standing still. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, highlighted the weight of this month for this very reason. In a hadith found in Sunan al-Nasa'i, he said, "It is a month in which the deeds are taken up to the Lord of the worlds, and I like that my deeds be taken up while I am fasting." He was preparing his account before the books were closed. He was practicing before the main event. Let us not be on the sidelines while the righteous are warming up. And before we move to the next reminder, I ask you kindly, if this touched your heart even a little, take a moment to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and write a comment below. Tell me where in the world you are listening from. My beloved brothers and sisters, let us dive deep into the first quality that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. What does it mean to truly shine in the eyes of Allah? It starts with doing while others are not doing. It starts with finding the moments where the world is distracted or asleep and using them to connect with your Creator. Think about the night prayer. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, gave us a very specific instruction. He told us to pray at night while other people are sleeping. It is expected that we pray our 5 daily prayers. Millions of Muslims do this every day. But when the night covers the world and eyes are closed in sleep, who is awake? Who is standing on their prayer mat? Who is crying out to Allah when the rest of the house is silent? This is your opportunity to distinguish yourself. Imagine the scene from the early days of Islam. At one point in history, there were only 3 people on the entire face of the earth praying. It was the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, his noble wife Khadija, and his cousin Ali. Imagine the angels roaming the earth looking for light. They saw the entire world in darkness, but they saw one house shining. One house was alive with the remembrance of Allah. Today, we have millions of Muslims, but the concept remains the same. When you wake up for tahajjud while your neighbors are asleep, you become a beacon of light. You become a star on the earth for the inhabitants of the heavens. You are doing what others are not doing, and that makes you special. This principle applies to everything. It applies to your charity. There are times when people hold back their wealth out of fear. They worry about the economy or their savings, but you step forward and give. You give when others withhold. You volunteer your time when everyone else is too busy. You are shining because you are breaking the norm of selfishness. It also applies to fasting. The source text mentions a beautiful image. Imagine sitting at a table where everyone else is eating. They are enjoying their lunch, but you are sitting there fasting. You are hungry, but you are holding back for the sake of Allah. The angels recognize this sacrifice. They surround you. They pray for you while the others eat. They ask Allah to bless you because you are doing what others are not doing. This is the mindset we need for Shaban. Most people are not fasting right now. Most people are waiting for Ramadan. But if you fast now, you join that elite group of people who are ahead of the curve. You are worshipping when it is not trending. You are worshipping when there is no social pressure. This is where sincerity is built. This is where you prove to Allah that you love Him not just because it is Ramadan, but because He is your Lord. Allah describes the true believers in the Quran as those who leave their comfort zones while others stay in them. He says in Surah to Sajda, they arise from their beds. They supplicate their Lord in fear and aspiration, and from what we have provided them, they spend. Be the one who rises when others fall. Be the one who gives when others keep. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, promised a specific reward for those who adopt this lifestyle of unique worship. In a hadith found in Sunan at-Tirmidhi, he said, "O people, spread peace, feed the hungry, and pray at night when people are sleeping, and you will enter paradise in peace." Notice the condition. Pray when people are sleeping. That is the key to the special entrance of Jannah. My beloved brothers and sisters, let us look at the second and third ways to stand out in the sight of Allah. The second path to excellence is doing what is not expected of you in your specific circumstances. We all know that it is easy to give charity when you have a surplus of money. It is easy to be kind when everything is going your way. But what happens when the logic of the world tells you to hold back? What happens when you fear poverty? The standard expectation is that you save every penny. But the believer does something shocking. They give. They give even when they are scared. They trust Allah more than their bank balance. This action is so beloved to Allah because it goes against your natural instinct for survival. It proves that your reliance on Him is stronger than your fear of the world. Think about forgiveness. When someone hurts you or insults you, the expectation is that you fight back. You have the right to argue. You have the right to defend your honor. But you choose to swallow your pride. You choose to pull back from the argument even though you are right. You forgive when no one expected you to forgive. You smile when you have every reason to frown. Allah looks at that servant and He loves them. He sees that you are seeking His pleasure over the satisfaction of your ego. You are doing the unexpected, and that makes you shine. Then we move to the third quality. This is doing more of what everyone else is doing. We are all Muslims. We all pray our 5 daily prayers. We all fast the month of Ramadan. We all pay zakat if we are eligible. This is the baseline. But if you want to be special, you cannot just stay at the baseline. You have to add the extra. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, told us about the specific gates of paradise. There is a gate called Ar-Rayyan. This gate is not for everyone who fasted Ramadan. It is for those who fasted a lot. It is for those who fasted Mondays and Thursdays. It is for those who fasted the white days and the month of Shaban. There is a gate of Salah. It is not just for those who did the obligatory prayers. It is for those who stood in the night prayer. It is for those who prayed their sunnah prayers. There is a gate of charity. It is not just for those who paid zakat. It is for those who gave extra sadaqah when no one asked them to. These gates are reserved for the people of more. They are for the people who were not satisfied with just scraping by. If you want to be called from all of these gates, you have to exert yourself. You have to push past the average. Allah describes the people of paradise as those who went above and beyond in their goodness. He says in the Quran in Surah Al Imran, who spend in the cause of Allah during ease and hardship, and who restrain anger and who pardon the people, and Allah loves the doers of good. Notice how He combines spending in hardship and controlling anger. These are the unexpected deeds. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, promised a massive reward for those who simply walk away from a fight to please Allah. In a hadith found in Sunan Abu Dawood, he said, I guarantee a house in the outskirts of paradise for one who leaves arguments even if he is right. Be the person who does the unexpected. Be the person who does the extra. My beloved brothers and sisters, we now come to the fourth and perhaps the most telling quality of a believer. This is the quality of enthusiasm. It is doing what everyone else is doing, but doing it quicker and with more heart. We have to be very honest with ourselves about our energy levels when it comes to the deen. When the notification pops up on our phone for a message from a friend, we rush to check it. When our favorite show is about to start, we are seated and ready minutes before. But when the adhan is called, how do we react? Do we jump up or do we groan? Do we look at the clock and think we have a few more minutes to finish what we are doing? This reaction tells you everything about the state of your heart. There is a spectrum of behavior. On one end of the spectrum is the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. On the other end is the hypocrite. We are all somewhere in between. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, was described in a way that should make us all reflect. When he was at home, he was serving his family, he was talking and smiling. But the moment the call to prayer was heard, he changed. The narrations say he would jump up like a lion. He would move with such urgency that it was as if he did not even know his family anymore. His focus shifted entirely to his Creator. He did not drag his feet. He hastened, he rushed, he wanted to be the first one there. Now compare this to the description of the hypocrites. They also prayed. They stood in the same lines, but their hearts were dead. They dragged themselves to the mosque only to be seen by people. They felt the prayer was a heavy chain around their necks rather than a relief for their souls. We must strive to move away from laziness and towards excitement. This applies to everything. When a donation appeal is made, be the first to give. Do not wait for someone else to start. When the time for prayer comes, be the first to the prayer mat. This enthusiasm is what Allah looks at. He sees the prepared heart. He sees the excitement in your spirit. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, taught us that there is a massive difference between the one who arrives early to the Friday prayer and the one who comes at the last minute. The one who comes in the first hour is like one who sacrificed a camel. The one who comes later is like one who gave an egg. Both are present, both prayed, but the reward is completely different because of the enthusiasm. We should be competing for these positions. We should be racing for the front row. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, told us about the immense value of being in the first line of prayer. In a hadith found in Sahih al-Bukhari, he said, if the people knew what is the reward for the adhan and for the first row, and they could not get it saved by drawing lots, they would draw lots. They would literally draw names from a hat just to get that spot. That is the level of desire we should have. We ask Allah to protect us from the laziness of the hypocrites. Allah describes their state in the Quran so we can avoid it. He says in Surah An-Nisa, indeed the hypocrites think to deceive Allah, but He is deceiving them, and when they stand for prayer, they stand lazily, showing themselves to the people and not remembering Allah except a little. Let us be of those who remember Him much and run to Him fast. My beloved brothers and sisters, we now arrive at the specific secret of the month of Shaban. Just as Ramadan appeals to a specific type of heart, Shaban appeals to a specific type of mindset. It is the mindset of the one who pays attention when the rest of the world has turned away. The companions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, noticed something very particular about his habits in this month. They saw that he fasted in Shaban more than any other month outside of Ramadan. He would fast nearly the entire month. It was as if he was connecting the practice of Shaban directly to the performance of Ramadan. He did not want a gap in his worship. He wanted his heart to be fully alive before the crescent of Ramadan even appeared. But he did not force the community to do this. He did it quietly. He did it consistently. One day, the beloved companion Usama bin Zayd asked him about this. He asked why he fasted so much in Shaban. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, gave an answer that reveals the hidden treasure of this time. He said that this is a month that people become heedless of. They neglect it. Why? Because it falls between the sacred month of Rajab and the massive month of Ramadan. People treat it like a waiting room. They toss it to the side, they relax, they take a break from worship thinking they need to save their energy for Ramadan. But the Prophet saw this heedlessness as an opportunity. He taught us that the best time to shine is when the lights of everyone else are dimmed. When the crowd is distracted, the sincere servant gets to work. He gave a second reason that should make us all tremble. He said that in this month the deeds of the servants are presented to the Lord of the worlds. This is the annual review of your life. Every word you spoke and every action you took is being raised to Allah in this month. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said he loved for his deeds to be presented while he was fasting. He wanted the final seal on his annual report to be an act of worship. Imagine your deeds rising to Allah right now. Do you want them to ascend while you are scrolling on your phone? Do you want them to rise while you are arguing or sleeping? Or do you want them to rise while you are fasting and praying and giving charity? We must reflect on the ugliness of heedlessness. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said how repulsive it is to be heedless of the one who never stops showing you kindness. Allah is sending you blessings in every blink of an eye. He never forgets you. He never stops sustaining you. So how can we forget him? How can we be complacent when he is constantly merciful? We should be competing for his pleasure right now. We should be rushing to fill our scrolls with light before they are closed for the year. This is your chance to show Allah that you do not need the peer pressure of Ramadan to worship him. You worship him because you love him. Allah commands us in the Quran to fight against this state of mental drifting. He warns us not to be among those who are asleep to the reality of their existence. He says in Surah Al-A'raf, "And remember your Lord within yourself in humility and in fear and without loudness in words, in the mornings and in the afternoons, and be not of the heedless." The warning is clear. Do not be of the heedless. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, explicitly defined the virtue of this month in the hadith found in Sunan al-Nasa'i. He said that is a month to which people do not pay attention between Rajab and Ramadan. It is a month in which the deeds are taken up to the Lord of the worlds, and I like that my deeds be taken up while I am fasting. Let us wake up before the rest of the world does. My beloved brothers and sisters, as we conclude our reflection on this blessed month, I want to leave you with a practical roadmap for your daily life. We spoke about shining when others are dim. We spoke about being awake when others are asleep. But how does this look in our modern, busy lives? Look at the example of the companions of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. There were some who loved to stay in the mosque between the two night prayers, Maghrib and Isha. Most people would go home to eat or rest, but these companions saw that gap as a golden opportunity. They said to themselves that this is a time where people become heedless, so this is my time to shine. They turned a time of transition into a time of transformation. You can do this too. When you are in your car, when you are waiting in line, or when you are walking between appointments, use those moments to remember Allah. Think about the marketplace. Whether you are walking into a shopping mall or scrolling through Amazon, your mind is usually focused on buying. You are thinking about the product and the price. You are distracted. That is why the reward for remembering Allah in the marketplace is so astronomical. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, taught us a specific supplication for entering the market. The reward for saying it is 1,000,000 good deeds. Why? Because you remembered the King of Kings in a place where everyone else forgot him. You brought the sacred into the profane. This is the mindset of Shaban. We are in a worldly month, but we are acting with a spiritual heart. We must also talk about the Quran. The righteous predecessors used to call Shaban Shahr al-Quran, the month of the reciters. They did not wait for Ramadan to open the Book of Allah. They started now. If you want to run a marathon next month, you have to start jogging today. If you want to complete the Quran in Ramadan, you must open it in Shaban. Set a goal for yourself. If you plan to read one part a day in Ramadan, read half a part today. Train your tongue. Soften your heart. Do not let the dust on your mushaf be the testimony against you. Let this month be the month where you reconnect with the words of your Lord, so that when Ramadan arrives, you are already in a state of love and flow with the revelation. Finally, we must focus on the quality of our deeds. The beauty of Shaban is that it is a hidden worship. In Ramadan, everyone knows you are fasting. It is a public virtue. But in Shaban, it is a secret between you and Allah. The Salaf used to go to great lengths to hide their voluntary fasts. They would wear perfume and look fresh so that no one would suspect they were hungry or thirsty. They wanted to protect their sincerity. They wanted a deed that was purely for Allah, with no share for the ego. This is your chance to build a private treasure chest of good deeds. Fast when no one knows. Give charity anonymously. Pray when the door is locked. We ask Allah to allow us to be among those who are prepared. We ask Him to accept our Shaban and to allow us to reach Ramadan with hearts that are purified and ready to receive His infinite mercy. Allah reminds us in the Quran to call upon Him with this specific type of humility and privacy. He says in Surah Al-A'raf, "Call upon your Lord in humility and privately. Indeed, He does not love the transgressors." The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, encouraged us to seize the reward of the marketplace, to differentiate ourselves from the heedless. In a hadith found in Sunan at-Tirmidhi, he said, "Whoever enters the market and says, 'There is none worthy of worship except Allah, alone, without partner. To Him belongs the dominion, and to Him is the praise. He gives life and causes death, and He is living and does not die. In His hand is the good, and He has power over all things. Allah shall record 1,000,000 good deeds for him, wipe 1,000,000 evil deeds away from him, and raise 1,000,000 ranks for him." Allahumma barik lana fi Rajab wa Sha'ban, wa ballighna Ramadan. O Allah, bless us in the months of Rajab and Sha'ban, and let us reach the month of Ramadan. Ameen.